The first knife fighting tactic and the fastest knife fighting tactic, whether you know it or not, is the jab. Couple ways that we can fire out the jab. We can roll it out and fire it, or we can go direct. Pop, pop, right there. Now the classical method is the left hand coming underneath the armpit. Why? Because in double knife, this is another chamber position so we can fire out multiple jabs. Whether we are jabbing out high or high to low or low to low. We can change up all the different elevations from these chamber positions. However, when you are just in the single knife, you can keep the left hand out here and jab. But it's not gonna be as fast as when you have this mechanic, because it's kind of like the reverse punches. Pop, pop, one in, one out. Or like a boxer, one in, one out. And when you have that motion right there, it makes the jab just a little bit more faster because you could put in a little bit more energy. But either way, roll it into the jab or go direct. Make sure you also train it in the reverse grip. Our second knife fighting tactic is the slash. We're gonna slash down either on the diagonals, you can come upward as well, you can cut on the verticals, you can cut on the horizontals. Now the thing about the cuts is that these can be large cuts or short cuts, and you wanna make sure you're training both. Both have a place. Power, boom, boom, or speed, right there. Of course, make sure you're training your cuts also on the reverse grip. Our third basic knife fighting tactic is the mighty thrust. This is probably the most lethal one out of them all. The wound oftentimes could look small, but there's a lot of damage that's going on beyond the flesh. So let's take a look at some of our basic thrusts. We can thrust to the center line, we can thrust to the backhand, we can thrust to the forehand right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We could also thrust on the overhand. We could thrust up underneath. So the thrusts are fast and sneaky and extremely devastating. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna put these three basic knife fighting tactics into one drill. So that way you can train all three, develop these tactics, develop these techniques in one flow. From here we're gonna start off, jab, then into the cut, then come back with a thrust, then come down with a cut, and then into another jab. Okay, that's the first variation I want you to kind of play with. Hit the jab, slash, thrust, slash, and then a jab. You can also play around with this combination and add another variation. So we come into the jab, cut down that backhand, fire a backhand thrust, cut down that backhand again, and then pop that jab. So you explore the combination now as you're working out. Don't think so much on technique. I want you to think tactically, not just technically. In your training, you explore the different possible techniques. I don't want you just thinking technical, I want you thinking tactical. Make sure there's a jab, a slash, and a thrust. We can go into a jab, a slash, a thrust, a slash, and a thrust right there. Or we can pop the jab, slash, thrust, slash, and jab right there. Techniques come from any angles, but the tactic is, are you jabbing, are you slashing, or are you thrusting? And of course, don't forget to work this combination in on the reverse grip. I don't care how you want to hold the knife. If you like the knife edge on the outside, if you like the edge on the inside, the most important thing on the reverse grip is that you cap the knife with your thumb. Especially if you're using like a pocket knife that doesn't have a guard. You don't want to thrust something and have your hand slide down it and run your fingers on that edge. So cap that knife, especially when there's no guard. Now the jab on the reverse grip is basically another type of thrust, right? Because it's going directly in right there. A little bit of a variance on the reverse grip, jab, thrust, cut, thrust, and jab. And once you have it, just start moving around. Freelance drill that we like to call here in Filipino martial arts, Kerenza or Saya, which means to dance. Now it's your turn. Go grab a knife. If you don't have a trainer, make sure to head over to collegecenter.com, check out our store, and purchase one today. Got the link in the description below. Want to know more about knife fighting and how to handle your gear? Make sure to check out this video right here, my friends. I'll see you back here next time. Subscribe, like, comment which tactic is your favorite on a knife. The jab, the slash, or the thrust.